This is CBC Here and Now.
Two crashes on both sides of Pitts Memorial Drive this morning. One accident happened just after the other.
Just this morning, I had people here in the information center that wanted to meet someone who was actually here when the event happened.
Tourism takes off in Gander thanks to the Broadway hit Come From Away. Good evening and welcome to Here and Now. I'm Carolyn Stokes. A frenzied scene on a busy St. John's highway this morning. First, a pedestrian was struck and then a multi-car pileup. At least one person was taken to hospital and police shut down Pitts Memorial Drive for hours. Here and Now's Meg Roberts reports.
The spot you see behind me on Pitts Memorial Drive was in chaos this morning. You could hear sirens blaring through downtown St. John's as emergency vehicles rushed through heavy traffic. That's after a woman was struck by a vehicle on this busy highway. It was a bright sunny morning when the 46-year-old woman was hit. She was taken to hospital, but it's not clear how serious her injuries are. Police and ambulances arrived on scene. The eastbound lanes were shut down over a 5-kilometer stretch. Then another accident in the oncoming lanes.
While officers were on scene, a collision occurred in the westbound lane. And at that time, we did close Pitts Memorial from Kilbride to downtown.
That second accident happened just a short distance from where the woman was struck. The RNC couldn't immediately say how it happened, but several cars were piled up against the concrete median. That's when police shut down all lanes and traffic was rerouted. It's not clear if anyone else was injured in the second crash or if anyone will be charged. As you can see, traffic is flowing again, but police are still investigating. Now, in total, the highway was closed for about 5 hours from 9 a.m. to about 2 p.m. Meg Roberts, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, our CMP have confirmed the body of a 47-year-old fishing guide from Newfoundland is among those recovered from a float plane crash in Labrador earlier this week. Police say they've also recovered the bodies of 2 anglers from New Jersey. 4 more men are still missing and presumed dead, including another guide from this province. The others are from Quebec, Illinois, and Indiana. The RCMP's underwater recovery team, along with other officers, were headed to the crash site today. The names of the fishing guides and the anglers have yet to be released. Well, a stabbing sent paramedics and police to the center of St. John's this morning. The RNC went to this home on Empire Avenue twice today, the first time responding to a call of a disturbance and to assist paramedics. No one at the scene was talking, but police were back there later in the afternoon when they were called back there. That's when one man was taken into custody and another was sent to hospital. Now, this house is known to police and has been the subject of drug raids in the last several years. Well, where once it stood, nothing stands. The wooden fence on Signal Hill is down not long after going up, but the criticism continues because now the bill is in. The fence cost the agency $65,000. That includes planning, layout, design, and labor. But the $65K does not include the cost of tearing it down. Parks Canada says wood from the fence will be reused. It was put up next to the Visitors Centre where the Signal Hill tattoo takes place. Locals, tourists, and MPs said it blocked the iconic view of St. John's. Parks Canada said it was a safety measure that missed the mark. All right, well, let's head out into the sunshine and check in with Jeremy Eaton, who is live in a place that's very near and dear to my heart, my hometown of Mount Pearl. That's some nice shirt you got on you there, Jeremy. I like it.
You know, I'm dressing. Oh, thank you. It's a huge compliment coming from you, as you know fashion and I know nothing about it. I'm standing, yes, in your hometown, the city of Mount Pearl, and it's Mount Pearl City Days, and it's getting underway just now here at St. David's Park in the heart of Mount Pearl. And what are City Days? Well, if you stay tuned, you're going to find out, because I'm going to interview the mayor of town coming up after the break.
The work continues tonight to clean up an oil spill from the Hibernia offshore platform, and environmentalists are warning that this is the sign of things to come if the oil industry continues to expand. Here in Now's Peter Cowan is on this story tonight. So Peter, what do we know about this oil spill today?
Well, Carolyn, we know that the oil slick is spreading out and drifting away from the platform, and I want to show you exactly where it is. So we've got a map here. Let's take a look. It's off St. John's. This is where the Hibernia platform is, and this is where the oil slick. And it's bigger than it was last night. That's because the winds and the waves are pushing it away and they're spreading out. They're still saying it was about 12,000 liters of oil that was released, and Hibernia tells us the concentration of that oil has decreased. So what are they actually doing to clean up the spill? Let's take a look. They say there are 5 support vessels that are in the area. 2 of those are ships using side sweeping systems. This is basically a device that's scooping up the oil. But they haven't said how much oil they've actually been able to recover, because the other thing they're trying to do is disperse the oil so it's not in concentrations and won't affect marine wildlife. Well, what has the impact been on wildlife? Well, let's take a look at that. There is wildlife that has been observed in the area from the ships as well as the overflights that they've been doing, but no birds or marine mammals have been impacted according to Hibernia. One environmentalist is warning, though, that events like this are only going to become more common if the oil industry continues to expand.
You know, both the government and the industry profiling that they want to have faster environmental assessments, they want to get more development out there, they want to double capacity. Well, if they're successful with all of those ventures, then we can expect more of this.
Now, the Hibernia platform is still shut down tonight while they investigate how the oil and water was pumped out of their holds and into the ocean, and there's no word on when production might restart. Carolyn?
Thanks, Peter. That's here now's Peter Cowan reporting. Well, a transport truck driver has been arrested for drug-impaired driving after an accident on the West Coast. RCMP say it happened Tuesday on the Trans-Canada Highway. Police found the truck on its side in the eastbound lane just outside Corner Brook. A 50-year-old man was charged with operating a vehicle while impaired by drugs. His license was suspended and his truck was seized. Well, the come from away wave isn't slowing down in Gander. Operators say the Broadway hit has inspired even more tourists to check out the town this season, and these days the town has more to offer. Here now's Garrett Berry joins us live from Gander. So Garrett, Gander has seen some changes compared to previous tourism seasons. Tell us about it.
Absolutely. Just a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, people were talking about how Gander was probably unprepared for what was about to happen. They'd come out of the airport behind me, get to the arrivals lounge, and wouldn't see a whole lot, especially not a whole lot related to the Broadway musical. But that is changing. A couple people and groups are putting their best foot forward to try to make some changes and bring some familiar things to those tourists.
There's 2 long white ones.
From San Diego to Gander, with just a gentle push.
The way the musical depicted the people of Gander, I thought, no, there's no place in the world where people can really be that nice. So I wanted to see for myself.
He's taking in the sights with a one-on-one tour. But believe her, it gets busier than this.
This year I've had a 300% increase in pre-bookings of the tour, and so I think next year it's going to be overwhelming, maybe.
Get ready. Some things you plan for.
And there will be very tastefully done interpretive signage at various locations around town, highlighting some of the areas where visitors want to see.
Some things just appear.
This showed up on the shelves of Walmart.
It seems like everyone's buying in.
This is a little overview of the 9/11 story itself, and of course the famous picture of the airplanes on tarmac.
New this year, a visitor passport, a guide to the real sights that inspired the musical.
We're realizing that we have to get ready because we're not even at the tip of the iceberg yet. You know, last night Come From Away opened in Australia, and as it moves out and out, people are coming from everywhere.
And locals have an incentive too. the chance to win a trip to see Come From Away in Toronto. I tested my luck. Besides, the mayor says there's a lot in it for Ganderites.
It encourages additional business activity. There's a bus tour, a tour bus just drove by us here now. We're seeing exponentially increasing numbers of tour buses coming here, for example. They're all stopping, feeding people, some staying here in some cases.
And maybe it's just nice to see some new faces.
Now, you saw a photo there of some Come From Away signs. I have some details on those. Town Council says there's going to be about 15 of those installed in the town of Gander in the next couple of weeks, some as high in the air as 16 feet up. For us Gander residents, that might be the biggest change that we see around here, though I learned today if you go looking for tourists, you'll certainly find some Broadway-inspired visitors. Reporting live for Here Now, I'm Garrett Barry in Gander.
I'm Ryan Snodden in for Ashley again tonight. The forecast looks great for Mount Pearl days. As we roll into the forecast this weekend, we are talking about some increasing clouds and some shower chances, but some sunshine too. Your full weekend forecast is coming up.
Well, time for the all-important weekend weather forecast, and Ryan Snodden joins us once again tonight from Halifax. Happy Friday, Ryan.
And happy Friday to you, Carolyn, and to all the viewers, of course, watching now. Everybody, of course, is waiting for a great weekend forecast. And I don't know if we're delivering a great weekend forecast or not half bad, which is, of course, one of my favorite sayings from Newfoundland and Labrador.
We'll take whatever we can get.
Yeah,
at this
basically.
point.
As we've been mentioning the last few nights, the bar's pretty low right now, and we will see some sunshine this weekend. Temperatures maybe could be a little bit warmer, but we had a pretty good start to the weekend. Certainly 23 degrees right now. I should say today, the high in St. John's, 25 in Terra Nova, 24 in Badger, 23 in Corner Brook, 23 in Churchill Falls. The coast of Labrador still struggling with that onshore flow. There is the beautiful satellite picture which shows that low spinning around just off Newfoundland and Labrador, which of course not a good thing because it is just throwing that onshore drizzle and that coastal flow that's been keeping temps so cool today along the coast of Labrador. That's been increasing the clouds across the northern peninsula. Bit of cloud cover over northern Newfoundland, but thanks to an area of high pressure off to the south, it's been keeping that low at bay and keeping the sunshine in the mix in what turned out to be a pretty nice day. This low, this is our next weather maker. It's going to be tracking in this weekend. It's going to be throwing some shower chances into the mix, but far from a washout. And you'll see as we roll through tonight with your hour by hour, the clouds certainly building in. A mostly cloudy night tonight across the island. The best chance of showers will be certainly in the Port aux Basques region over the southwest down towards Burgeo and Ramia. Also a chance of some patchy coastal drizzle moving back in from the Labrador Sea with that low still circulating around there and into Labrador City as well. We're talking about a few showers edging in there as well as into Churchill Falls. It looks like Happy Valley Goose Bay though will stay dry and the rest of the province staying dry. As we mentioned, great for Mount Pearl days this evening. Looking at just overnight lows in the 10 to 14 degree range across the island for tonight. A little bit cooler up towards the northern peninsula and certainly along the coast of Labrador. So as we move throughout the day tomorrow, expect a mainly cloudy start, and then as we move into the afternoon, things are going to get brighter and better, certainly across the Avalon Peninsula and into central parts of Newfoundland. Now there is a few spits of showers possible from Gross Mourne down through Corner Brook, the west coast of the island. This trough line is just going to be kind of lingering here. It's going to be keeping things unsettled and those shower chances in the mix. Best chance of showers, though, tomorrow will remain from Labrador City across into Churchill Falls. So shower chances, but some sunshine too. As I said, Gross Mourne down to Port aux Basques, across to the Harbour Breton region. Increasing cloud cover maybe late afternoon by the looks of things, Grand Falls, Windsor and Gander, but a solid mix of sun and cloud after that morning fog and that morning cloud cover kind of breaks. And we're looking at temperatures with the northerly wind tomorrow, 16 to 18 along the coast, but inland parts of the Avalon will crack the 20s as well as the Burin Peninsula. And over to the Humber Valley and Corner Brook is where we'll find our warmest temps tomorrow. Happy Valley Goose Bay, chance of showers, but 22 degrees there. Nain around 8 degrees tomorrow, pretty unsettled again along the coast of Labrador in the north, but brighter as you work your way southward down towards the Straits. And there's that cloud cover dominating Churchill Falls and back towards Labrador City with those pretty good shower chances on the menu there. What does Sunday hold? Well, we'll tease you with that and really give you all the details that is in just a few minutes with your 5-day forecast. Carolyn?
Thanks so much, Ryan. We'll see you in a bit.
Sounds good.
Well, as Ryan said, some great weather outside right now for the City Days Festival in Mount Pearl, where Jeremy is right now. Looks like a few people puttering around. And Jeremy, Mount Pearl has really been in the spotlight lately, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's a great time to be living in Mount Pearl or from Mount Pearl. There's been a lot of international attention because of a very popular video, but I know that when I speak to Mayor Dave Aker, he's going to say it's popular for a variety of different reasons. And so I'm going to introduce you right now. This is the Mayor of Mount Pearl, Dave Aker. Dave, thanks for joining us.
Jeremy, thanks for coming.
So, people want to know, what are Mount Pearl City Days?
Well, I guess to start off, we're 31 years old as a city today, but you know, that's only a minor point of the story. This is a celebration of community. It's an example of what the community here in Mount Pearl expects of its city, and I think council here is very in tune with the residents' needs. And so this is basically the end of the week. This is a time that people have worked hard. Summer has finally started, so we're here tonight. You can call it happy hour if you will. We've got food trucks, we've got a brew tent, we got Landwash Brewery here in Molson supplying some of the beer for the city. We've got entertainment down here at the back end. So
Damien Fall is playing right now?
Damien Fall is playing right now, and we've got a whole lineup this weekend, but yeah, this is the start of it. This is for all the hard-working folks in Mount Pearl. This is the way to end their week on a good note.
Now, we were chatting before we went live, and there's a lot of stuff. Like you said, food trucks, there's music, there's vendors. What's the cost of admission, Dave? Mayor Aker, sorry?
The cost of admission, now the beer is not free, the event is free. Basically, the taxpayers are paying for the entire thing, but we expect people, if they would kindly bring 2 non-perishable food items to the food bank here. St. Vincent de Paul and the Salvation Army run our food banks here in the city of Mount Pearl. They're regional-wide food banks. You bring a donation, and that helps to stock up the shelves. That helps the food bank get through till Christmas time, believe it or not.
Now, I know you gave out some awards last night, and that kicked off the week, and there's a big party here, but what else is planned over the weekend? What can people find?
Well, we've revamped the Saturday and the Sunday night schedule, but in a nutshell, Saturday night there's a concert which features basically a rock and roll theme. That rock concert starts with a pig roast at the Ruth Avenue Sports Complex Saturday at 5 o'clock, and then on Sunday we have the traditional Irish Newfoundland type show, and that'll start around 6 o'clock, and that'll go right till 11 o'clock. So if you're in town, join us on Saturday night. If you're out of town, on your way back from the cabin, please drop by the Ruth Avenue around supper time, and we'll take you right through to the end of your weekend.
And I'm invited even though I'm a hardcore East End townie?
You absolutely are, anytime. And what we find is that a lot of the people who come to City Days, they're connected to somebody in Mount Pearl, you know, either a friend or family or whatnot. So quite often we have over half the people here are not just residents of Mount Pearl, but they come from all over, and we're very happy to see them come.
Now, I know City Days is a big deal for you and for the city, but also there was a video that came out, Welcome to Mount Pearl, the Mount Pearl Anthem. It's been a couple weeks now since it's come out. It went viral. It's gotten international attention. How can the city build off this, Mayor Aker?
Well, right away we saw Ollie Pettigrew showed up from Right This Minute, which is a show basically which talks about viral videos. Target Marketing did a great job producing the video. Many of us in this city were happy to be in it, but what it's done basically, it's helped grow the city's name and brand throughout North America, and this is only the beginning of that brand generation that we're working on. But Ollie was here on Monday. And one of the things he said was, in all sincerity, he says, what you saw in that video is exactly what the city is all about. And the video, even though it's a little bit out of character for me and many of the other people in the video, it's all about celebrating our citizens and our way of life here in the suburbs.
Well, Mayor Aker, I appreciate your time, and I got to ask, can I get a fist bump before we go?
You absolutely can.
Oh, thank you very much.
Jeremy, take care.
This is Mayor Dave Aker of the city of Mount Pearl. This is Mount Pearl City Days. We're going to come back. We're going to chat to a few more people, and we'll give you all the sunny updates from here. So reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Jeremy Eaton in the beautiful city of Mount Pearl. Mount Pearl.
Being around new people, I would have to tell them exactly what aphasia was all about, how it affected my writing. Writing, you gotta get rid of that one. Speaking. See? The wrong words come out, right?
She had a brain aneurysm and a stroke when she was just 36. Coming up, we'll revisit Debbie Maloney's segment of This Is My Story. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, this summer, Here and Now is revisiting segments of our series, This Is My Story, where we check back with people who were previously featured on the show when they were dealing with some major life-changing events. Well, tonight we're taking a look back at Debbie Maloney. She suffered a brain aneurysm and stroke 15 years ago when she was just 36. Here's the encore presentation.
I was at home and I just got a really bad headache. I said, there is something wrong. It really affected the right side of my body. It was hard because I couldn't communicate. I was in a wheelchair thinking, oh my God, like I'm too young. Hi, I'm Debbie. 14 years ago, I had a brain aneurysm, and within a week, I had a stroke. This is my story. I had what's called aphasia. It affected my language, like my reading, my spelling, all that kind of stuff. I went to the Miller Center for 3 or 4 months. I had physiotherapy and I had some speech therapy. 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
It helped a lot. It was hard trying to walk again. I still have trouble with my leg. I get Botox every 3 or 4 months, and it kind of relaxes the leg. If I walk now, it's with a bad limp. It takes me a longer time to go for a walk. I still have a limp. That'll be there forever. It's harder to put my thoughts, ideas together. I find that I really get stuck on words. Even with having this interview with you, it's overwhelming. A lot of friends, they understand what's going on with me, right? So being around new people, I would have to tell them exactly what aphasia was all about, how it affected my writing. Writing, you gotta get rid of that one. Speaking. See? The wrong words come out, right? I lost my license after my stroke. I remember the policeman came to my house and wanted to take my license. That was upsetting too. Being young and all these things happen, it was just hard. But I knew I couldn't anyway. I needed to have all that physio, and with time I got it, and then I got a new car. I think at the age of 36, I had to do something. I had to get better. You know, nothing is 100%, but a lot of that therapy, really, I needed it. A job is a big part of you. I was an X-ray technologist. It was a very physical job, and a X-ray technologist is supposed to be there to support patients, and I couldn't do it. I'm doing some volunteering with the SPCA. I've been at that 4 or 5 years now. Yeah, I'm at a thrift store up on Topsail Road. It's nice that it's volunteering. All the money goes to the SPCA thrift store. $18, please. Thank you. You're welcome. See you now. It's just nice to be up just to help out. We've got a little dog, spoiled rotten. We have a new cabin, so we go up there a lot. It's like a new little house, actually. We loved it. We go up there a lot.
It's still hard at times, but he supports me and he makes me laugh.
I'd say I've done about 10 speeches. I did a lot of provincial, national conferences. In the beginning, I used to do them, and I would really get stuck on things, but I would make light of it.
Still laughing.
And I would speak to people, like probably hundreds of people, and if I'd say a word and I said, okay, everybody, this is my aphasia. I'm going to say the wrong words, and I found it just relaxing. I didn't mind it at all, you know, but it's part of it. It's still part of me. In the first couple of years, I used to see a lot of improvements. Then it got to the point that even with my speech therapy, that there was nothing else. Yeah, kind of leveled off. Sure, it's frustrating. My life is different, but I'm okay with it. Without Glenn, I'd never have gone this far. He was with me all the time. He was in the therapy with me. I'm just lucky.
Remember, you can watch Here and Now anytime. We're broadcasting live on YouTube. You can also catch past episodes on demand. Just go to YouTube and subscribe to CBC NL. Welcome back. A New Brunswick judge has found Dennis Oland not guilty of second-degree murder. Oland was being retried for the slaying of his multi-millionaire father 8 years ago. His previous conviction was overturned on appeal. CBC's Kayla Hounsell has the latest in this long-running legal saga.
Dennis Oland was greeted with applause when he left the courtroom, a free man. He said nothing, but his lawyer had plenty to say.
And I hope that everybody in St. John now understands and appreciates that Dennis Oland did not kill his father, and understands the misery that he and his family and his friends and supporters have gone through the last 8 years.
Oland's father, multimillionaire Richard Oland, was found face down in a pool of blood in his St. John office in July 2011. He suffered 45 sharp and blunt force injuries to his head, neck, and hands.
I'm a little uncomfortable with people coming up and saying congratulations as if this was some day to celebrate, because it's important to bear in mind that Dennis lost his dad to a brutal murder.
Dennis Oland was charged more than 2 years after his father was found dead, first convicted by a jury in 2015 and then released on bail when his conviction was overturned a year after that. The appeal court cited an error in the trial judge's instructions to the jury. The Olands are known as the owners of Moosehead Breweries, the oldest independent brewery in Canada. And today in St. John, everyone has an opinion on the verdict.
It doesn't surprise me in the least.
I'm kind of surprised.
Money buys freedom.
I feel very much for Dennis Oland. I think he's been through a tremendous amount.
In his decision, the judge stated there is much that implicates Dennis Oland in the murder of his father. The Crown argued money was the motive, producing evidence of Oland's soaring debt. But the judge wasn't satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense argued the police had tunnel vision.
We all sincerely hope, and the Oland family sincerely hopes, that the St. John Police Force will finally reinvigorate the investigation and start doing the investigation that should have been done 8 years ago to find the real perpetrators of this terrible, terrible crime.
The Crown says it hasn't decided whether it will appeal the verdict. Kayla Hounsell, CBC News, St. John.
U.S. President Donald Trump marked half a century of man's arrival on the moon with some of the first men there, the former Apollo 11 astronauts.
Tomorrow will represent 50 years from the time we planted a beautiful American flag on the moon.
On hand were Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon, and Michael Collins, who piloted the command module. The family of Neil Armstrong was also there. Trump received a briefing on plans to return to the moon and send astronauts to Mars. Welcome back. Time now for a look at the long-range forecast. Ryan is back once again. And Ryan, a little bit earlier, you were teasing us with the forecast on Sunday. Is it going to be nice? Is it not going to be nice? So what's the answer?
Well, it's going to be pretty nice for some areas. Other areas are going to have to maybe go for a little bit of a drive into the nice. The island's almost going to be kind of split in half on Sunday. As you'll see, Carolyn, we have our next system approaching from the west, and that is going to be throwing some showers into the mix, especially for western parts of the island. But it will be mild there. That's the good news. Thanks very much. As we take a look at a recap of Saturday, in case you missed it, it's looking pretty bright for most areas. The big takeaways here, the easterly flow coming in along the coast of Labrador and down towards St. Anthony and the Straits, that's going to keep temperatures kind of capped in the mid-teens. We'll be into the high teens with a bit of cloud cover early and then becoming a mix of sun and cloud for central parts of Newfoundland and over towards the Avalon Peninsula as well. 18 in St. John's, but if you're doing the Signal Hill walk tomorrow, if you're heading out towards Pooch Cove, it's going to be probably closer to 15 degrees in those onshore winds, and then inland parts of the Avalon will crack 20, as well as the southern parts of the island, the Burin Peninsula down towards Harbour Breton will be into the 20-degree range, as well as 22 in Happy Valley Goose Bay. This low will still kind of be under the influence, will be under the influence of it tomorrow. It'll start to wander away, and our next system will start to approach, and we'll kind of get squeezed in between those two systems as we roll throughout the weekend. So here's again that future tracker that shows that trough, which will just kind of remain unsettled tomorrow from Labrador across to southwest Newfoundland. That dissipates as we roll into the Saturday evening time period, pretty quiet overnight, and then that next low approaching. And watch your timeline here. Sunday morning, showers, Happy Valley Goose Bay, edging into western Newfoundland pretty early in the day. Sunday afternoon, those shower chances on the increase for central parts of the island. The Avalon, though, looks like will stay dry until the very later parts of the afternoon, possibly even holding off until the evening. So not a bad forecast on Sunday for the Avalon Peninsula. Just a little bit cool, though, with those onshore southeast winds ahead of that system. Temperatures are likely only going to be in that 17-degree range for St. John's, but inland parts should crack 20 for, say, places like Placentia and places on the Trinity Bay side of things. 20 degrees in Gander, Grand Falls, Windsor. Looking at those showers again into the afternoon for you folks. Unsettled for the west coast and into Labrador, where the clouds will dominate, and the best chance of showers all day will certainly be through that corridor. Now, as we move into the Monday time period, that low will kind of linger. A few showers possible Monday morning, and then we're brightening into the afternoon. Some sunny breaks possible for southwestern parts of Newfoundland in particular, but can't even rule out a few sunny breaks for the Avalon as that low kind of wanders away and off to the east, and there's still some discrepancy as to how quickly it does so. Looks like we have another system shooting in for Tuesday. Showers will carry through with that system into Wednesday, but it looks like some clearing in behind. And late next week is looking a lot brighter than early next week, and so we'll leave you with a little bit of a carrot dangling at the end of the 5-day forecast in that regard. For central parts of Newfoundland, temperatures in the high teens, low 20s through the weekend. Looks like those showers again clearing on Monday, another system Tuesday, and as I said, clearing out on Wednesday. Western parts of Newfoundland, the better day certainly Saturday. Get out and enjoy. Pretty unsettled on Sunday, but one of those days you can get out. Just make sure you've got the rain jacket or the umbrella, the rain gear. For Monday into Tuesday, that chance of showers clearing out earlier for you folks. It looks like Wednesday looking like a dandy day at this point. Happy Valley Goose Bay and eastern parts of Labrador, showers the better day Saturday, a little more unsettled for Sunday into Monday, some lingering showers for Tuesday and into Wednesday of next week, and Lab West certainly the most unsettled of the 5-day forecast. The warmest day on Saturday, and then kind of turning unsettled and a little bit cool as we roll into that 5-day forecast. But time for that to change, of course, as always in Newfoundland and Labrador, Carolyn.
Thanks so much, Ryan, and have a great weekend.
You too. Great to see you.
You too. Gonna head out now back to Mount Pearl, where Jeremy is tonight for City Days. And you know, the sign of a thriving city is new businesses cropping up, and that's what's happening in Mount Pearl right now. I can see that Jeremy is nearby in a new business right now. How are things going, Jeremy?
Things are going great. We're just hanging out here at Landwash Breweries. They're set up here, and this is Christina Cody. She's the co-owner of Landwash, and she's also the head brewer. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, anytime. Happy to be here.
So your business just opened up at the end of last year. What's it been like selling beer out of Mount Pearl?
It's been wonderful. We've been crazy busy since we've opened, and now that the summer's here, we're having a hard time keeping up. We're just pumping out beer as fast as we can.
So how does it feel for you as one of the newer business owners here in this city to be part of Mount Pearl City Days?
It's amazing. We're thrilled to be here tonight. Mount Pearl has been wonderful to us, super supportive, and we're just thrilled to be here to hang out with them and support them any way we can.
Now, you and I were chatting before we went on air, and you're originally from St. John's. Did you ever imagine growing up that you would own a business in Mount Pearl?
No, I never did. I never thought it would ever happen, but I'm super glad to be here now.
And what's it like, what has the reception to your business been like? I know that you've been very popular, but in your own words, what's the reception to your business been like over the last 7 or 8 months?
A little unreal. Never thought it would happen, but so far the local community support has been amazing. I think we get more locals than tourists in our tap room, and most of the time people come in the tap room and they say, oh, I just live over there, and that's wonderful. So we're super happy to be here.
Does anybody from the city ever stop by? Have you ever seen any, like does Mayor Aker ever pop in for a brew?
Oh, just about every Friday night. In fact, if City Days wasn't happening today, they'd be over there right now.
Now you also, so obviously you got 4 beers on tap, but you also have like a can room. Can you talk a little bit about that? So people don't have to stop in and sit down, they can swing by, is that correct?
Absolutely, so we sell cans, tall boy cans, as well as growlers. So if you don't want to visit us in our tap room, you can come on by and buy 1 or 4 or as many cans as you like and get growler fills.
Now, I know that as the person who made all this beer, I know that there's people watching and they're probably going to wonder, what do you have on tap? So can you walk us through the 4 beers you have?
Absolutely. So our lighter beer is our One Wave Blonde Ale. It's about 4.8%, super smooth, easy drinking. We have our That Much Ocean New England IPA. So that's going to be more dank and creamy vibes. We have our Hazer's Rock Breakfast Stout, which uses jumping bean coffee. And we also have our Green Nap, which is our newer IPA, and it's using a Barber Rouge French hop. Nice strawberry creamy vibes going on in there.
I appreciate, Christina, thanks so much for your time. We appreciate you chatting to us.
Absolutely, thank you.
Now, we mentioned she's from St. John's, I'm from St. John's, but Carolyn Stokes is actually from Mount Pearl, and last night we were joking about a Mount Pearl curl. So the staff here at the CBC did a little digging, and I do believe, do we have that photo? Can you bring up the photo, Roddy? Is that possible?
Oh boy. Yep.
So in case you're wondering,
yeah.
Carolyn, what do you think of that look?
I was very young. That's actually pretty tame for Mount Pearl curl, I must say. I'm sure there are pictures buried somewhere where it's much more intense. But yeah, I was just a youngster there, about 12 years old with the Mount Pearl curl.
Well, if I looked that good, I'd probably show off this picture. I hope it's on display somewhere in your mom and dad's house.
I think it probably is.
So as you can tell, that it's. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say to you, Jeremy, I've been watching you, and I said earlier how much I love your shirt, and I just wanted to say that I feel like your shirt looks like a Dr. Seuss character just sneezed all over you.
Oh wow! I was going for more of like a Magnum PI look, but like, it's not pastel-y enough. But thank you very much. You know, a lot of people don't like this.
Well, I like it.
Anyways, I know that there's. Well, thank you very much. Now, there's a lot going on here. The beer tent is starting to fill up. Damien Follett's still going. The food truck lineups are long. And you know what? We're going to do this all again next week. Now, I can't tell you where we're going to be, but we'll be out and about in the community looking to tell some of the stories from people here on the Northeast Avalon. So for the last time this week, reporting live for Here and Now, I'm Jeremy Eaton in Carolyn Stokes' hometown of Mount Pearl.
Thanks, Jeremy. Now it's time to find out who's celebrating. Happy 50th wedding anniversary to Simeon and Beulah Tucker of Creston South. Happy 59th anniversary to Tom and Edna Tulk of Corner Brook. They'll celebrate on July 23rd. Congratulations to Alan and Joan Bailey of Elliott's Cove, Random Island. They're celebrating 50 years of marriage. Happy 50th wedding anniversary today to Gordon and Marilyn Lee of Hare Bay. Love from family and friends. Another golden anniversary. Happy 50th to Arthur and Eileen Card from Merritt's Harbor. 59th wedding anniversary greetings tomorrow to Lawrence and Marina Penny of Lewisport. Happy 50th anniversary to Alphonsus and Joan Laney from Cape St. George. Happy birthday to Vera Buck in Mount Pearl. She's celebrating her 94th birthday. 90th birthday greetings going out to Annie Wheaton from Fredericton, now living in Gander. Happy 98th birthday on July 22nd to Fred Andrews of Winterton, now living in Barrie, Ontario. He's a World War II veteran with the 59th Newfoundland Heavy Regiment. Happy 90th birthday today to Teresa O'Brien of St. John's. Wishing Grace and Spencer Cutler from Indian Bay a very happy 66th wedding anniversary tomorrow. Happy 50th anniversary to Donna and Colin Manuel of Main Brook, now living in Corner Brook. They celebrated on July 15th. Happy 53rd wedding anniversary to Thomas and Verna Moulton of St. John's. They celebrated yesterday. Happy 53rd anniversary to Doris and Hector Keane of Wesleyville, who celebrated on July 15th. Happy 58th wedding anniversary to Fred and Sharon Evely from Crockers Cove, Carbonear. They celebrated on July 15th as well. Anniversary greetings going out to Bruce and Lorraine Bowen of Jamestown, Bonavista Bay, now living in Toronto. They will celebrate 50 years of marriage on July 21st. Happy 60th wedding anniversary to Ruth and Harry Saunders of Cox's Cove. They celebrated on July 16th. Congratulations to John and Mary Lewis of Colliers, who celebrated their 63rd wedding anniversary on July 14th. Congratulations to Joe and Ivy Roberts of Badger. They're celebrating 58 years of marriage. Happy anniversary to Doug and Donna Beals of Corner Brook, who celebrated 53 years of marriage yesterday. Happy 50th anniversary to Maurice and Fern Simmons in Portland. Happy birthday to Angela Fleming of Torbay, who celebrated her 92nd birthday on July 14th. Happy 90th birthday to Lillian Elson of Mary's Harbor, who celebrated on July 15th. Yvonne Humby of Somerville, Bonavista Bay, now living in St. John's, is celebrating her 92nd birthday tomorrow. Birthday greetings to Arthur Joe Brooks of Southeast Placentia, who turned 94 on July 17th. Happy 90th birthday to Sarah Windsor, love from family and friends. Happy birthday to Bessie Spurl, who turned 97 on July 17th. Bessie is from Pools Island and now lives in Badger's Key. Happy 60th anniversary to Reg and Lucy Parsons of Woody Point, Bon Bay. Happy 65th wedding anniversary to Clayton and Rose Short from Corner Brook. Congratulations to Piercy and Rebecca Rideout of Trinity. They're celebrating 56 years of marriage. Happy 59th anniversary to Max and Joan Burt from St. John's, who celebrated on July 16th. Happy 57th anniversary tomorrow to Robert and Irene Freeborn of Harbor Mill. Happy 96th birthday to Nita Roberts of Cormac, who celebrated on July 10th. And happy 100th birthday to Jane Pollitt of New Harbor, now living at Shag Rock Manor. She celebrates on July 22nd. Happy 55th anniversary tomorrow to Abraham and Hannah French from Mount Pearl. 53rd anniversary greetings going out to Mike and Diane Clements of Torbay, now living in St. John's. Congratulations to Daff and Wilf Jackson, who celebrated their 55th anniversary on July 17th. Peter and Margaret Delahunty of CBS are celebrating their 50th anniversary today. Congratulations. Happy 55th anniversary to Patsy and John Callahan of Fox Island River, Port-au-Port. They celebrated yesterday. Happy anniversary to Ruth and Dave Tremblett of Gander, who are celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary tomorrow. Anniversary greetings going out to Cecil and Dinah Keynes of Fortune. They celebrated 56 years of marriage yesterday. Happy 58th anniversary tomorrow to Ray and Olive Shepherd of River of Ponds. Congratulations to Dick and Betty Seward of Mount Pearl. Their 60th anniversary is tomorrow. And happy 50th anniversary to Gordon and Eleanor O'Neill of Trepassey. Fine crowd, congratulations once again. Well, we've been talking a lot about the 50th anniversary of the first moon landing. Well, this weekend also marks the 120th anniversary of the birth of Ernest Hemingway.
26-year contestant.
Every year, one of the writer's old haunts in Key West, Florida, is invaded by men with white beards, safari shirts, and bulky sweaters. This time, 135 contestants from all over the world have entered the annual Ernest Hemingway Look-alike contest. The winner will be named tomorrow on Saturday. The Nobel Prize-winning author lived in Key West in the 1930s. Well, that's it for us tonight, and lots of stuff going on this weekend. There are Mount Pearl days, city days out in Mount Pearl, and there's the Rib Fest happening down by Kitty Vitty Lake, and the sun is out. Lots of stuff to do this weekend. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and that you join us here once again on a Monday. Good night, everyone. And here's a shot of from the rooms of St. John's Harbor. Beautiful evening, as I say, lots of sunshine. Good night.